The important thing is not to win, but to participate. That sounds like something your mom would tell you when you were little, and she was trying to convince you that losing at the soccer game was so bad because you got some exercise in. But it's actually a quote by Pierre de the French aristocrat who's considered to be the father of the modern Olympic Games. I know this probably sounds like another one of those feel-good sayings. You know, like everything happens for a reason, or you only live once. But there's actually a lot of wisdom in these 11 little words. So let me ask you, have you ever participated in something? Maybe a competition, or a game, or an event? And even though you didn't win, you still felt a sense of satisfaction afterwards, knowing that you gave it your best shot. On the other hand, have you ever won something but felt like it was a hollow victory because you were unreally invested in it? These are the situations where the importance of this quote becomes clear. When we think about participating in something, whether it is a physical activity like a game, or an intellectual one like a debate, or something else entirely, we usually do so with a certain goal in mind. Maybe we want to prove ourselves to others, or maybe we just want to see how we stack up against our peers. And sure, winning can be a great feeling, but if we're being honest with ourselves, we'll admit that it doesn't always mean what we think it does. Think about all the times you've cheered for your favorite sports team and they've won. Did you feel like celebrating, or were you indifferent since you weren't the one playing? The same goes for losing. Sure, it might sting a little bit, but it's usually not as bad as we think it will be. We all know that life isn't a game. There are no participation trophies here, but this quote reminds us that the real point of anything we do is to try our best and see how far we can go, not to win or lose. It's about challenging ourselves and expanding our horizons, not about keeping score. This is why the Olympic motto is Sidious Altius. It's not about winning the gold medal. It's about pushing yourself to be the best version of yourself. Of course, winning is great, but it shouldn't be the main reason we do anything. If we focus too much on winning, we'll end up cheating ourselves out of the true meaning of the activity. We'll become so obsessed with the end result that we forget to enjoy the process of playing the game. We'll sacrifice our values and our integrity just to come out on top. And that's not what it's all about. So what should we do instead? Well, this quote reminds us that the important thing is not to win, but to participate. It's to embrace the challenge and give it our all. When we focus on the process rather than the outcome, we free ourselves from the constant pressure of winning. We can relax and enjoy the activity for what it is. This doesn't mean that we're not competitive or that we don't want to win. It just means that we're not willing to compromise our values in order to do so. But wait a minute, you might be thinking, what if you're competing against someone who doesn't play by the rules? What if they cheat and win? In that case, you might be wondering, isn't it better to just not participate at all? I mean, why bother competing if there's no honor in just being a runner-up? But here's the thing. As the great Mahatma Gandhi once said, nonviolent resistance is the greatest force at the disposal of the people. So even if someone cheats and wins, that doesn't mean that you should give up. You may not have won the game, but you can take comfort in knowing that you've played by the rules and that your victory over your own weaknesses and limitations is far more important than any trophy or medal. We often get caught up in the results. But as this quote reminds us, it's the journey, not the destination, that truly matters. So next time you find yourself obsessing over the outcome, take a step back and appreciate the opportunity to participate. Embrace the challenge and give it your all. Who knows? You might just surprise yourself with what you're capable of. There's an old saying that goes, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. Life is full of ups and downs, twists and turns, and sometimes we find ourselves facing challenges that seem insurmountable. But as this quote reminds us, the important thing is not to win, but to participate. It's to keep going no matter what. Think about the times in your life when you faced a challenge that seemed impossible to overcome. Maybe you had to take a big risk in order to pursue your dreams. Maybe you had to stand up for what you believe in despite the odds being stacked against you. Or maybe you simply had to keep going when things got tough. Looking back now, you realize that those were the moments that defined who you are. They were the moments when you grew and learned and became stronger. Of course, it's easy to give up when the going gets tough. It's easy to walk away from the pain and suffering. But it's in those moments when we need to dig deep inside ourselves and find the strength to keep going. It's in those moments when we discover what we're truly made of. Remember, the important thing is not to win, but to participate. It's to keep going no matter what. And when we do that, we open ourselves up to the possibility of experiencing the most profound moments of our lives. The funny thing is that we often put ourselves in these situations intentionally. We know that the path ahead will be difficult, but we're willing to endure the challenges because the potential rewards are just too great to pass up. That's because we're all human beings with human emotions and desires. We want to experience the highs in life, but in order to do so, we must first endure the lows. As Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, life only mirrors us and adjusts itself to our demands. In other words, life gives us what we're willing to put into it. If we're willing to put in the hard work and dedication required to achieve our goals, then life will give us the opportunity to do so. But if we're not willing to put in the effort, then life will give us something else entirely. So the next time you find yourself facing a challenge, don't be afraid to lean into it. Don't be afraid to put in the hard work and dedication required to overcome it. Because on the other side of that challenge lies the potential for the most profound moments of your life. And remember, the important thing is not to win, but to participate. It's to keep going no matter what. Because life is not about finding the easy path. It's about finding the challenging one, because that's where the growth is. That's where the learning is. And that's where the real rewards lie. If you liked this video, make sure to check out our other videos about motivational and inspirational quotes. We also encourage you to share your thoughts and comments below about this quote. Thank you for watching.